Ah, yes, and we round out our look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Core Class Dinobots. We've already looked at both legs. I'm saying both legs, both dino legs, both arms, the upper torso, and now the bot that makes the lower torso. My personal favorite Dinobot, Sludge, and my favorite dinosaur, Brontosaurus. How well did they do him? How much justice was done to my very favorite Dinobot? We're going to find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below, also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is Sludge. Sludge, my very favorite Dinobot. When I first saw this revealed, I was like, I don't know about that, man. Is he good? Is he not? I'll mention now that I'm not 100% sure if I mention in the articulation that he has a thigh swivel. I can't remember. It's kind of a thigh swivel. It's a weird swivel. But nevertheless, I'm mentioning it now because I can't remember if I mentioned it in the articulation. I feel like I overlooked it. I could be wrong. Not sure. Is this guy going to live up to my hopes and expectations for a Sludge? Let's head over to the table and take a closer look. So, courtesy of a good friend of the channel, Maximal 10, we've been taking a look at the Core Class Legacy Evolution Dinobots. This is the last of the individual Dinobots. It is the lower torso. It is Sludge. It is also my favorite Dinobot. I would say, at this point, the weakest offering, at least in my estimation, is probably Scar. He's not bad, but there's a few things about him that really, I think should have been improved upon, especially for a new character. I would say the best one is Swoop. I would say the second best one is Snarl. I would even say the third best one is Slug. Or Slag, whatever you want to call him. I don't know how Sludge is going to be. I can remember seeing this guy when he was unveiled, and I was like, I don't know, man. We don't have a box for him. We do have the instructions for him. Weird, we had boxes for 4 of the limbs, but not for the 2 torsos. Strange. But again, this is on loan, so it is what it is. Again, fairly effective instructions. I have no issue with them. But you see, then we have this guy, and this is rough. So he's the lower torso. He is, of course, a Brontosaurus. The pretender shell of the Dinoking combiner. The pretender shell for the lower torso is indeed a Brontosaurus. This is, I guess, an analog of Rairyu, and yeah, he's the lower torso. I mean, all of the signs were here that this was going to be a Dinoking combiner, if you ask me. Now, in terms of looks, I think that this is creative. I'll give credit where credit is due. I don't know if it's successful. So, let's kind of God, where do I even start with this, really? So, the red and black in the torso, that's correct. The gray legs, the gold toes, that's correct. I wish that the upper thighs were black. They're not. They're gray. There are upper thighs there. The big dino legs on the side of his actual robot legs is rough. A rough look, I'm not going to lie. The gray arms, the black hands. Black hands? Yeah, black hands is right. I even understand that what they were trying to do here was have his wings, which are attached to the arms instead of to the back. It was trying to mimic having his wings come out behind his arms. I get the look. Same with the leg here. Like, really, the leg is attached to the dino leg outside. But there is a gray thigh in here to try and give the leg a seamless look. I don't think it quite works, but it's an admirable attempt design-wise. In terms of look for Sludge, the big dino legs on the side, that's wrong. The gray here in the lower tummy, that's not right. The gray thighs, not right. But you know, I can't know, you know what? You wouldn't know that this is Sludge, I don't think. Once you look at it and put your head on the side, I think you can see it. But just looking at the robot, I would struggle to immediately know this is Sludge. I'm going to say for a look, it's about a 7. I think it's the least accurate of all of them. I also understand being a lower torso, there's a lot that this guy got to do, so it's a bit difficult to do all of that. The articulation, oh, by the way, the head was not on at a package. It was on when I got it, so I didn't show it being attached, but you do have to attach it yourself. I assume that that's easy. So a 7 for the start. Let's do the articulation for the guy. Head left and right, no up and down. I think the only one who is on a ball joint rather than a mushroom peg is Swoop, if I'm not mistaken. The arms, they can go all the way around, and I mean, okay out to the side for a T-pose. Not great. No elbow. Again, I think that's a killer. No wrist, which I'm okay with. I get it. We do have a waist, so I'm happy with that. The hip skirt can go up, so the leg can go all the way forward. The leg can go all the way back. There's a really deep knee. In terms of, like, bring that down. In terms of splits out to the side, like, that's all you're getting. And I get it because something should have been done with this. Again, 6.5. There's a lot compromised on this guy. 6.5, he was getting a 7. I'm gonna say, Sludge is my favorite Dinobot, so this breaks my heart to be scoring him the way I have to score him if I'm gonna be objective and fair about it. Right now, 6.75. It's a rough version of Sludge, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe the transformation and the torso mode will save it. 6.75 is a rough score, but I just don't think that this succeeds very well as a robot. Though I do respect the attempts to make thighs, I do respect the attempts to mimic the wings. I would have given up the wings behind his arms if it meant we would have had an elbow. I would have taken the articulation. Okay, let's go to Dino mode, and then we will go from Dino mode, kinda, back to torso mode, even though torso mode is kind of him in robot. Anyway, let's go to Dino mode first. So we're going to begin by picking the head up over. Real shame all of this is left open, not gonna lie. We're going to I guess we'll bring the arms together up over, make sure that we can bring that dino head in, and you'll notice that these legs were on the back, now they're not, obviously. Tab in head, they're both there. See the problem? There. Gosh, okay. So I got that in. Hold on a moment till I reorient myself. Okay, so I probably should have already done this, but I guess I'll do it now. I made a couple of errors here that I actually need to, wow, breaking my heart that Sludge is like this. Really breaking my heart. Not impressed with this at all. Really, really not. I don't even know how this goes on because it was on out of package when I got it. I guess it goes on like that. Man, it's rough. This is a rough Sludge. Now, it was my mistake not having the waist turned. It is in the instructions. I just neglected to do it. Put the legs together, and then these should fold up over, and the hands here should kind of fit in this open space is really what's supposed to happen here. That's not wanting to stay together. I'm going to have to fix that in a minute, but basically, boom, in the end here you have Sludge. I don't understand why these legs are angled and as huge as what they are. The front ones are tiny. Zero articulation of anything in this mode. I do have that up. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be down. It's It's cute. This is an adorable Brontosaurus mode, but it's a bit janky. I'm not gonna lie. It's not my favorite version. The transformation is okay. I know I fiddled with it a little bit. The guy was getting a 6.75. I think the transformation is an 8. It's fine. Maybe even an 8.5. It's just I had to sort of struggle with it ever so slightly. I don't know why this is not staying in here. And you know what? I don't even care. That's the thing. Like, it's not that well made. I don't really like this. Right now, I'm going to say that his overall score is about a 7. Honestly, I don't think it's wonderful. So yeah, he's currently getting a 7. Let's do the torso mode, I guess, which basically means that I need to get this guy back to robot mode anyway. So I'm going to do that. And that's just coming off now. And we'll take these out to the side. Oh, bring that head up and then bring the head down. All right. So we begin to do, oh wait, I don't have his waist turned around. Honest to goodness, let me reorient this. If you've ever wanted to know how honest my reviews are, this is a good litmus test. I love Sludge. Easily, by far, my favorite Dinobot. I love Brontosauruses, my favorite dinosaur. I don't like this. The problem is, this isn't fun. I'm not enjoying it at all. I don't like the look of the robot. I don't really like the transformation to dino mode. I don't really like the look of the dino. He's getting a 7 so far. Let's see how the torso goes here. The arms, they're gonna go up and over. That is kind of step 1. Then the legs, I believe, go turned out this way. By the way, there is a thigh swivel. I don't think I said that in articulation. I think I neglected the thigh swivel. My mistake. He does have a thigh swivel. I think I said the knees, but he does have a thigh swivel. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Not that it really improves his score, because he's not great. Then we, I believe, fold. Do we fold these up? Pardon the cut, but the instructions make this look a lot more challenging than it actually is. So you bring this up, and then there's a little nub right there that also is supposed to kind of go in, I guess, to solidify these as part of the thighs. That said, when you just fold the leg up, it all kind of goes in automatically anyway. So yeah, this is the torso mode, the lower torso mode. I assume all of this gets covered somehow. And that these peg in somehow. I have not combined this with the upper torso yet, so I really don't know how it goes together. I don't like this. I don't think the transformation here is depicted great in the instructions. He was getting a 7. I think I'm going to stick with a 7. He might have even been getting a 7.5, but I don't think he's that good. I think overall, this Sludge, as much as it pains me, is the worst of the bunch, and he scores a 7. And here we are once again, and here he is, and it breaks my heart to say that he is the most abysmal of all the Dinobots. So, as I say that, let's also understand that I get that he had to be hips, waist, thighs, lower tummy. I understand all that. As a torso, I think it's okay. I think it's quite serviceable. I think it's quite solid as a torso, to be honest with you. As a dino, it's solid. It's fine enough, but I don't know. I don't like all the hollowness under the neck. And I don't like the gigantic size of the back legs on the guy. That seems weird in dino mode. And the dino is basically just one brick. Literally nothing moves on it. But it's okay. Then we get to the robot. And I respect the attempt with the robot. So when it comes to the chunky arms, I understand that what they're trying to do with the arms is mimic the wings he's supposed to have on his back. I get that that's what they're trying to do, and by mimicking it, they really made it part of the arms. I also like that the wings, if you will, are painted silver. Unfortunately, that means that the elbows are lacking on this guy yet again, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure how you could have even molded elbows in, considering the way you've done the door or the wings. I'm not sure if he could have had them. I also feel like the shoulders are way off the torso and puts his shoulder, while functional and can go all the way around, and even like a respectable T-pose, it's way off the body and looks weird. The red on the torso is fine, the black in the center is fine. I do wish the red came down here on the lower torso, but I also understand how that turns around and you needed the gray there for other things. Then we get to the legs. Boy, oh boy, do I respect the ingenuity here with the legs. We still have the black waist, as we should, but then there is a gray thigh, technically, here. It's really because of, like, it's really like a chunk that's built on, so it's a faux thigh. It's actually not connected to the hip at all. Like, the swivel, of course, is on the dino leg, not on the actual thigh. But I get that they molded it in there so that it looks like hip, thigh, knee, and leg all the way down, even if the knee is at a weird angle. I respect that. And the idea was, of course, to make the full leg look like it's there while these big dino legs just hang out on the side, whereas normally they might fold into the back or some such thing. That said, while I respect that, it wasn't until I had this guy in hand that I even noticed the thigh was there. I thought it was just hip, out to weird dino thigh, and then lower leg. And even though I know that there's a thigh there now, I can't help but see this, the dino chunk, as the actual thigh, since that's where the swivel is, right? Like I just turned at the thigh swivel, and there's hip, the thigh went with the leg, right? I respect the attempts, the creative attempts to pull off Sludge and to pull off his dino mode. I think that he exists best as a pair of shorts, second best as a dinosaur, and I think where he fails the most, as much as it breaks my heart to say, is as a robot. It's just, it's a creative design. I respect the attempt. I respect the designer's ability to work with this size class and pull off what they could, but it's just a real rough robot, especially for someone who loves Sludge so very much. Let me know what you think about Sludge. Do you think he was, as bad as what I'm saying? Am I being a little harsh because I wanted him to be so much better? I don't know. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, man, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.